Did you make them again, 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 again? All the lies that you told, did you believe in them? All the choices you made, did you make them again, 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 again? All the lies that you told, did you believe in them? Again, 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 again. Did you make them again? All the choices you made, did you make them again?
All the choices you made, did you make them
So we need to sign a left back. That would be our second signing. And I've been looking at a number of players. I've been looking at Alex Telles. I've been looking at David Alaba. I've been looking at Alex Sandro. I wonder though, no one has ever looked at Alex Sandro, as Chelsea making link with him. When I look at his stats and what he can do, he is an excellent person. I was also looking at Lucas Digne. I think he's a France international. And I was also looking at Ben Chilwell. Now, among all those persons I've been looking at, believe me, Ben Chilwell have an advantage because he's English, but he's my fourth choice actually. Yes, he's my fourth choice. Among all the names that I just called, the person who I was most impressed with in all facets of the game, and he scores goals as well, is Lucas Digne. Right? He would be my number one choice. So Nene, Frank, and all of you, just take a look at Lucas Digne and tell me what you think. Others, you can look at him and tell me what you think in the comment section. But he has a rating of 7.09. Tellers have a rating of 7.27. Alaba have a rating of 6.94. Sancho have a rating of 7.08. And the lowest rating player is Chilwell, have a rating of just 6.93. Alright, why I chose Lucas over the rest. He only scored 4 goals so far, but he played far fewer games. He's a very young person. Well, not very young, but he's younger than most of the others except Chilwell. Chilwell is the youngest, just 23. Lucas is 26, so he's younger than Alonso, he's younger than Telles, Alaba, Sandro, etc. He's just 26, and he is strong in all areas. He is excellent, very strong in crossing the ball, right? That's what we really need. He's excellent in crossing the ball. He make key passes, right? He's strong aerially, very excellent aerially. Then he's also a good free kick specialist. He's good at set pieces, and he is excellent at ball interception, right? So he is very rounded. I can't find in my research. I can't really find an area that is weak, right? Except that he doesn't score a lot of goals like some of the other names here, but what he has over everybody is a crossing. So if he make key passes, he's excellent at key passes and crossing. So if he's excellent at those, it simply means that he does a lot of assists, right? And he's good at concentration. He concentrates very well and read the game very well. So Lucas Digne, French international, 26 years of age. Please look at him. And another thing with Digne, he has experience. He has experience in some of the top clubs in the world. For example, PSG, Roma, and Barcelona. Those are some of the top clubs in the world. So if he's not going for an exorbitant figure, like 80 million or more, I think he would be an excellent choice. So Lucas would be my first choice. Then Alex Telles would be my second choice. You know, he is strong in all areas except tackling. That's Alex Telles. And for you to be a defender, you need to be able to be excellent at tackle. So that is my tiny drawback. He crosses the ball, he scores goals, he scores at least 16 goals. Alex Telles for his club. Right. As a matter of fact, the only person who has beaten Alonso in terms of goal score is actually David Alaba. He has scored 20 to Alonso 19. Right. So 16 goals for Alex Telles. So Alex Telles would be definitely my second pick, and my third pick would be David Alaba. Alright, they say he's weak in crossing and tackling, so that's why it'll be my third pick. Chilwell, my fourth choice, hold on to the ball too long and weak on tackling. You know, I'm really kind of discouraged about weak on tackling. We need defenders who can really tackle. Alright, so all in all, we concede a lot of goals and not so many clean sheets. And the reason why I wouldn't want an overall of the defense line is just because of the goalkeeper. If we look at a lot of the goals that are being scored, we can say had the keeper been on form, we would have reduced that by 40 or 50% in terms of goals conceded. Sometimes the ball passed within inches of Kepa reach. You know, that is really a poor performance. He's one of the poorest rated player in the league currently. Mark my word, if Kepa was keeping the way he kept in the last two games before the break, we would have been, it would have cut our goal conceded by about 50%. So I wouldn't too blame it on the defense per se. What the defense need to work on as a unit is crosses and set plays. They are weak on those, and it comes with training. So having and we can also notice something as well. Whenever we have Giroud playing up front and it's a set play, Giroud usually come back to help out with the corners, you know, to defend against the corners and the set piece, because he's tall and he's excellent in defending, right? So that's my opinion as it relates to the back line. As it relates to the midfield, I don't think we need any midfielders as long as Conte is going to be there, and I think Conte should be there at least for another year, because again, he's coming off a serious injury, and you can't expect to be at your peak when you're just coming off an injury. It's proven time and time again, right? We need to give players time to recover from the injury. So I still think Rudiger is our best defender, but he just needs some more time coming off an injury. Alright, so players usually be a bit tentative. They don't want to re-injure themselves, so they'll be a little bit tentative just coming off an injury. Look at Callum Hudson-Odoi. He wasn't the same when he came out of the injury until he got in a few matches and began showing some semblance of himself again. So we have to give persons who coming off injury time to show their class. Alright, so we skip the midfield and go to the forward, and our main system is usually a 4-3-3 system. We don't really play the 4-4-2. As a matter of fact, most English clubs don't really play the 4-4-2 anymore. I know that Michi and Pedro will definitely be leaving. We thank them for their services, but the way the club is moving or the direction the club is heading, I think Michi has outlived his usefulness to us. I think he should be in a team where he can get first team football, so I think we should sell him to a team, if not loan him out if we don't want to sell him. But I think I don't think there is a space in this team for him, and it doesn't make sense you're as a striker in the team and you are sitting on the bench. Alright, so Pedro wants to leave. He has done so well for the team, and we really thank him for that. Alright, Giroud, I think Giroud is a tower of strength to the team. I think if there's one downside with Frank management, I think he underutilized Giroud this season. Giroud should be getting a little bit more play with the experience he has and the tactic that he has. I think we would have been doing much better in some of the games that we struggled with with his experience. Alright, the fact that we don't play 4-2-2, meaning we have 4 midfielders and 2 strikers, actually there is a system we can still play the 4-3-3 and still have 2 strikers playing, because Tommy could be playing on one of the wings while Giroud playing centre forward, especially in games with low blocks that we need that extra striker and that sure-footed striker with the experience. I think what could have been done in some of those lower-rated teams that will lose against or drew against is having Giroud come in second half, and we move Tommy to the wing, because Tommy is an excellent pass off the ball. He holds up the ball well, link-up play and all of that. He's good at that. So one thing Frank could have looked at is having Tommy either on the left or the right, whichever side he's stronger on, and having Giroud at centre forward in low block games where we need that one goal to get that 3 points. So that's one thing we never consider. Yeah, so I think we should keep some experience. I personally like Willian, and I wish he would stay. I wish he would accept the 2-year contract, because I still think he has some more to offer in terms of Chelsea football. So Willian, if you're listening, take the 2 here and help the team make the transition between these current youngsters and the senior players. Alright, now let me sum up. In summary, we were looking at Jadon, Sancho as a forward as well. So in my mind, instead of paying 120 mil for just one player, we can get 3 potential world-class players for the same 120 mil. I mean, you can get 3 players for 40 mil each, or we can get 2 world-class players for 60 mil each. So why spend all of 120 mil on just one single player? That's my opinion. Sancho is potentially a world class. He's not world class as yet, so I don't think he's like a Mbappe or a Messi or persons in that class to be paying so much money for. So I think if we can get him down to about 70-80 mil, I think we should seek other options, and there are options there. I'd like this guy, but when I look really at his success, or luck thereof, I said no. And this guy is Adama Traore. I liked him. I like how he plays and stuff like that. He dribbles very well, and I think yes, this would be the guy for Chelsea. But when I look and believe it or not, he has a very good rating. He's even higher than Sancho. He's 7.58, while Sancho has a rating of 7.56. But he's not scoring goals. He does everything right except scoring goals. As a forward, sometimes he plays on the wing, sometimes he plays centre forward. I don't know if they are playing him in his wrong position. I don't know. I really don't know, but I am really disappointed with his finishing. I think his finishing is rather poor. If he had a better finishing, I would say yes, definitely. But he's still young. He's just 24. If we need a third option, probably we can consider Traore. But he's very strong. But I don't know if maybe the Chelsea kind of thing will fit him. Because we are a very aggressive, we are a very attacking team, and maybe it's just the right system he's not in. So maybe if he comes to Chelsea, he might have more conversion rate. Though, and his assist is not that great. He's just scored 6 goals in 57 games. I think that is poor for a forward, whether he plays on the wing or a centre forward. I think that's poor, but he's an excellent dribbler. He's probably one of the best dribblers right now in the Premier League, but just poor finishing. So that's why I wouldn't really consider him right now. But if we can't get anybody else, probably he would be a good choice to have in the squad. Maybe playing him in a better position would yield more success. They say Sancho, back to Sancho, they say he's best on the left wing, or he can also attack in the centre of the midfield as well. But he's weak aerially and defensively. He doesn't help out the team defensively. So Sancho does have weakness. We have Timo Werner. Well, I would say sign Timo Werner now. Once it's not an exorbitant fee, signing now, he should be the person that we should be looking at signing without hesitation. Right? Make him an offer and sign that guy. The guy is a gold machine. 118 appearance, 71 goal. That's just remarkable. Right? He has a rating of 7.39. His weakness though is offside awareness and defensively. He needs to help out the team more defensively. But in terms of goal scoring, finishing, marksmanship, Timo Werner is the #1 pick for me. Second pick would be Moussa Dembelle. Just 23, 60 games, 31 goals. That's a very good ratio as well. His rating dropped a little below 6.92. Weak in passing and holding up the ball. Alright, those are his weakness. I was looking at someone as well. Nobody seemed to pay attention to this player, and this player should be highly considered over Martinez or anybody else. Is Icardi. Mario Icardi. I don't know if I get the first name right, but Icardi is another gold machine. 208 appearance between the two last team, which is Milan and PSG. A lot of experience there. 208 appearances, 123 goals. This guy is a goal machine. A rating of over 7.16 as well. The thing is why probably Dembele would be my second pick over him, just because Dembele is a little younger. 27, Icardi is 27, is 27, and obviously he's weak defensively just like the other forwards. Alright, so Icardi should be definitely considered if Werner can't be ascertained. Alright, so that seemed to complete the forward. But there's this utility player. He's very young. I think we should sign him now, hold on to him, probably send him out on loan for a year, and then recall him later. But Aircraft, is that his pronunciation? Hakimi, 7.38 rating, only 21. And I think we should buy him and groom him, maybe send him out on loan for a year. But he is a utility player. He can play all over the park. He's a little weak on crossing, but that can be worked on in training. But he can play left back as well, right? So if we can sign Telles or one of those, Hakimi can play left back, as well as he can play on the wing as well as midfield. So he's a very utility player. So he's a nice player to have in the side. And if we have two players on one position injured, we have a guy who can slot in anywhere. He's a good player to have. So I think we should sign him right away and probably loan him out for this year, because I think for us to become the world class status again, we need about 5 to 6 signing, and Hakimi would be my 6th signing. So to sum it up, let me tell you my pick to sum up everything. Number 1, and this should be a must sign, is Onana in goal. My number 2 signing would be Timo, Werner, centre forward. If we can't get Timo, if we're unable to get Timo, Werner, then Dembelle and Icardi should be the next 2 pick. As a matter of fact, if we cannot get Timo, Werner, we can actually sign both Dembelle and Icardi if the price is right. Let's say we are getting Dembelle for 35-40 mil and get Icardi for another 40 to 50 mil. I think that would be a good signing. There are 2 very good players. And why I would get both Icardi and Dembelle if I cannot get Werner is because Dembelle can play as a centre forward and he also can play in the midfield, right? So he can play in multiple positions, as well as Dembelle can play on the wing. Icardi is an outright centre forward for both his country and the clubs, right? We already have Hakim Ziyech, right? So that is 3. So he should have been number 1 because he was the first to sign. Then number 4, it should be Lucas Digne, as I said. And if we can get Lucas, then we should look at getting Alex Telles for the left back position, right? And our 5th signing should be Chilwell, if we can get him for 80 mil or less. If we cannot get Chilwell, then if we cannot get Sancho rather. So Sancho, did I say Chilwell? Sancho should be our number 5 signing. If we cannot get Sancho, I think we should go for the much talk about Coutihno. Yes, Coutihno. I think we should go for Coutihno if we cannot get Sancho, right? But Sancho should be the priority, and if we cannot get Sancho, then we definitely go for Coutihno. But Coutihno has experience, he's excellent, he has experience in the Premier League, and I think he should be considered. But I think better suit us though, we take him on loan for a year, see how he performs, and then we give him a permanent signing after. That would be for Coutihno. And 6th and last signing should be Hakimi. We can keep him in the squad for depth, or we can loan him out, but he is going to be a beast for us in the future. So Onana, Werner, Ziyech, Lucas, Digne, Sancho, and Hakimi. And like I said, if we cannot get Werner, then we should consider Dembele and Icardi, sign either of them or both of them. And or if Werner price is too high, then we can go for those 2 players. Sancho, if we cannot get Sancho, which should be our number one target, and then we go for Coutihno. And I think if we get these players, we'll be a force to reckon with next season. Alright, so give me your thoughts on all of these that I just mentioned, and blow up the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. What I'm going to do, I'm also a chess player, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try put up a puzzle, and for those of you who plays chess, try and solve the chess puzzle for me. Tell me the best move. There are 2 moves in this puzzle. Tell me the best move for white to play. Tell me the best move, and let me see if any of you can figure it out. Let me see how many of you are chess players. Just to throw in something there to add a little spice. Now, tell me your opinion on what you think and everything that I've said, and I'll be doing another video soon based on the feedback I get from you. Stay safe, wash your hands, stay at home if you don't have anything to do on the road, stay at home and be safe. God bless.